On the next question Lulu asked for was question 30. Now, when you've got these worded problems, you want to try and draw a picture, understand what's happening. If you're good at art, you can draw a really good picture. So there's obviously a bridge, horizontal bridge, starting point 0, and then it says that the shape of the cable can be modelled by a quadratic. Now, if you have a cable, the cable is either going to hang like this across the bridge, or it's going to hang like this across the bridge. Most cables on bridges look like that one, they hang down. So if I read on down, it says the height of the cable is 10 meters above the bridge at each of the two ends. So here is an end and here is an end. So therefore, if it's 10 meters above, that's 10. So here's one part of the cable, here's 10, and here's 10, here's another part of the cable. And then it says the cable is 2 meters above the bridge. So here's the bridge in the middle part. So if I go roughly, the middle's here, and it says here, here's 2. So that tells me that it matches this one because it's going to come like this. So if I just draw a nice curve, I can see that it's going to be a quadratic with the minimum turning point. Now, if this is a graph, i.e. your x and y axis, this here is the y-intercept. This here is another point, and this here is the vertex. Now, if this is 0 and this is halfway, I'm going to call this half, and I'm going to call this 1. So 0 to 1 and half, because I don't actually know the length of the bridge. It says find how far the bridge cable is at 1/4. So because it asked me for a quarter, that kinda made me believe that that's a half, that's 1. So therefore a quarter is going to be here. That's going to be 3/4. So I've got to find this height at 1/4. So if I know that this is the vertex, that's going to be a half 2, and I know the y-intercept's going to be 0, 10. So there's a few things you can do here. You can either use y equals ax squared plus bx plus c to solve, where we know that c is equal to 10. So I put that in. I could also use x is equal to negative b over 2a, when I know that this is the x. So that would be 0.5 is equal to negative b over 2a. So I could use these as constraints and substitute in. However, the easiest thing to do is use completed square form. So y is equal to x, and this is the vertex, so use the vertex in here, but because it's plus a half, it becomes negative a half squared, and this is 2, so it becomes plus 2, but I don't know what a is, so I put in a. So how am I going to find a? Well, I take a point that I know for sure, 0, 10, so when x is 0, what is going to be a? So take it over, I get 8. That's going to be a bracket minus 0.5 squared. So 8 equals, well, that's going to be 1/4. And then if I take that over, a is going to be 1/4 moved over becomes 8 times 4. So a equals 32. So I know a. Now if I own a, know a, I substitute it back in here and I can find b. So 0.5 equals negative b over 2 times 32. So take that up there, and that's going to be 1/2 times 64 equals negative b. So 32 equals negative b, so b equals negative 32. So what have I got? I've got y equals 32x squared minus 32x plus 10. Or if I wanted to put it in completed square form, it would be 32x minus 0.5 squared plus 2. When you put that into the GDC, you're going to get a graph, and you just use graph trace. Make sure that your window settings are all good, and the answer is 1/4 4. Done.